So sometimes it's better to have the dark shapes a bit bigger than you actually want them to be, because the darks are often more translucent. But as soon as you start adding white to anything, it becomes more opaque and it covers more easily. So it's easier to cut into shapes with lighter colours. Because that yellow is quite transparent, just adding a little bit of white will make it more opaque, which will make it cover better. Can you see that? Just a tiny bit is enough to harden it up a bit, give it a bit of body. But if you don't look at this from a distance and see grass in shadow, you can't see the perspective of the sea, that it's receding back in space and that the sky is receding. If you can't see that at this stage, then there's no point putting any detail on, because it'll be wrong. You have to get the basic shapes right first, and then everything that comes on top is just details. When you're painting grasses, it's almost always better to use a warm blue to mix your green, because if you use a cool blue, it makes the green too lurid. It looks a bit weird. A warm blue and yellow, and then sometimes if that's still too green, you often need to add a bit of red in to make it more neutral, more khaki kind of colour, so it looks a bit more natural. They're just varying the colours and the brush strokes. These are going to be mostly horizontal strokes because it's a horizontal surface. That is a much smaller shape, but I can just use the paint to edit what I've done before. Even though this is really dark, I can carve into this shape because the white is making it so opaque that it really covers anything that's underneath it. Just getting a base layer of paint on. As you can see, it's all very loose. There's no detail in it yet. And using a big brush to do that means you can cover the ground quickly. You don't get het up on the detail too quickly. If you're just blocking it in. It's quite triangular, like a thin wedge. So I can use the blue over that to make that a wedge shape. They're just starting to refine the shapes by cutting in with sea colour. Wet in wet can give you nice effects where you can blend the paint on the canvas. But if you want more precision, then you often need the paint to be dry so that you can layer over it. Or you need a bigger thickness of paint so that you can cover it. So that's just to do with the consistency of the paint. Let's have a go at this.